and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see two pass rushes that have caused more than a few sleepless nights for quarterbacks and offensive coordinators. It's Khalil Mack and Von Miller. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the picturesque city of Denver, Colorado. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. And hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at our matchup here. You've got to believe that this is a game that might be won in the trenches.
Oh, without question. This is big person on big person, big unit against big unit.
Meat on meat.
Oh, you got it all. Pick your cliche. But we know this. The ground's going to shake, things are going to rumble, and they're going to have an impact on today's game.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
And I remember when he was a prospect coming out of college and people were wondering about different parts of his game. What all came together nicely in 2016. Had the Raiders at 11-3, had them thinking Super Bowl before an injury finished his season. They're counting on him to take them to new heights.
Carry, here's Marshawn Lynch, and he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Now Carr. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. A look now at the Oakland offense.
What I've always liked about Michael Crabtree has been one word: strength. Strength in route running, strength in body, strength of hands. If that ball gets near him, it's hard to get it away from him, hard to dislodge it. And I think that that's why he's starting to have more and more success in the NFL. If he's even close to being open, he comes down with the football.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
First down, the run with Lynch. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
And they've kept the core intact from the unit that won Super Bowl 50. Secondary, still a strong suit. Number 1 against the pass in 2016. They ranked 4th overall in total defense, so they haven't dropped off at all. They're hoping to get some more consistent play from their offense to get them back to the Super Bowl.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Carr. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. That's something you see a whole lot of, a sack of Derek Carr, and due in large part to a good O-line. Carr was sacked on less than 3% of his dropbacks last year, lowest in the league.
Oakland knew it was important to take care of their quarterback. They picked up Donald Penn, Kelechi Osemele, and Rodney Hudson in recent years, and it's paid off.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. Charles and I back to Denver after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Six-year man Marquette King on to punt. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led out by their quarterback out of Northwestern University. It's Trevor Siemian.
What a ride he's been on these last few years. I remember seeing him in high school before he went to Northwestern. Didn't get on the field all that much there, and then got to Denver as a 7th-round pick and ended up starting the season opener in 2016 for the defending Super Bowl champs.
First down, it's Siemian. The catch is made. Benny Fowler. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Siemian. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. 23 yards on the play.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. first down, Simeon. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On 2nd and 10, Simeon. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, Simeon. Then Latimer's got it. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cody Latimer, 38 yards. And the Broncos are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On first down, Carr. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Second down now after the pass completion. Shotgun now for Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Throwing on first down is Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Second down here after the incomplete pass.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
To throw again, Carr. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
To throw on third down, Carr. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good, because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on to Orlando, we hook back up with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. Both the Broncos and the Raiders are not doing much on the ground, and it's easy to see why that would play into this low-scoring game. We'll have to see if either team gets it going on the ground in the second half. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Raiders on 2nd and 7. Stewart's got to get to the quarterback here. This ends up as a loss of 7. Broncos with the ball midway through the second. Latimer's got nobody around him on the catch, and 38 yards later, he's going in for the score. Late in the second, as they get out to a 7-0 lead. Carr's got the completion here, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 33-yard line. Raiders would stall out, though, and settle for a field goal.
All right, Larry, thank you. A fairly tight game here as we get set to resume play in this second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Cody Latimer now on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On 1st and 10, Simeon. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Both Sanders and his running mate, Demaryius Thomas, have been over 1,000 yards each the last 3 seasons. Demaryius Thomas takes care of a lot of stuff downfield. Emmanuel Sanders likes to work inside the margins.
Great compliment for each other, aren't they?
Yeah, they work very well together.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd down.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down. Here's Simeon. And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This is taken around the 12. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. His throw incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And some room to maneuver. Got some room at the 30. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
All right, I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his feet as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely. Still got a lot of life left in those legs. And now a first down following that long gain.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
They go play action here on first down. Going up top. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. Here's Simeon now on second down. And caught right side, Green. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Following the penalty, Anderson. And shedding through the tackle. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause of the action. A timeout here defensively. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Third down now following the run.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, we got three.
Now it's the Chiefs' all-time leading rusher. It's Jamal Charles on the carry. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Riley Dixon now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And taken right on the 30. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Raiders will take possession. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll look to throw. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Back to throw. That's some strong running. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Michael Crabtree, 48 yards. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Trevor Siemian ready to retake the field. Certainly they want to win this game, but down 3, they know what they need to do. Get in field goal range, at least have a chance to tie it.
And if you approach it the right way, you almost have a safety net. Knowing just a field goal gets it done. You don't press for the touchdown, but you take it if the opportunity comes. If the opening's there, someone slips in the secondary and you get a big play. But otherwise, get the 3. Put that on the board and try to extend the game.
They'll be trying to muster 3. Of course, they'd love the score to win it. Back to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Benny Fowler that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Now it's Simeon. A dump off to Anderson. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Now Simeon. Over the middle, it's Thomas. Oh, no, he lost the football. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. The fumble, but they're able to maintain possession. Now it's second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6. Simeon going to rush his guys to the line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation.
And the Raiders have got him. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So here now is Brandon McManus in a big spot. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this is no good. Oh, by a matter of inches, he missed it wide to the right. So he came that close to tying it, but this one sails wide by a whisker.
And Brandon, pro football is a game of inches in more ways than one. That one looked good the whole way. But it's agony on one sideline, celebration on the other.
Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defensive.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Enjoy the